So Good Omens, it's a series about an angel and a demon who who are trying to stop Armageddon from happening. So basically, they meet each other in the Garden of Eden. Um, the angel is the the gatekeeper of Eden, basically, and the demon is the snake that tempts Eve. So we get this kind of like interesting dynamic between the two of them at the start, where it's like Aziraphale, the angel, gives a flaming sword he has to Eve and Adam, and it's something he's probably not supposed to do. And he, Crowley, or Crawley, as he's called then, has been the original tempter, so to say, and causes humanity to have free will and basically kickstarts the entire plot of the Earth's existence, technically speaking. So then, they end up meeting each other throughout the years since then. So it's like they meet up different time periods because they are, immortal beings. So like they'll meet up during Noah's Ark or the flood. They meet up during Christ's crucifixion. They meet up during Shakespeare times. They meet up in Rome, stuff like that. And so throughout these meetings, we can see their relationship start to develop and grow with each other until it gets to the point where they see each other more frequently. The farther away from Eden as they've grown closer to each other and have grown like closer to each other, not in a relationship aspect, but also in a where they're located at aspect. So, like, they could literally go anywhere in the whole world if they wanted to, but they always seem to end up in the same places in the end. So they end up making an arrangement with each other to, like, help out here and there. If one of them has to go perform a miracle in, let's say, fucking Belfast. That's not one of the places they go to, but they have a miracle to perform in Belfast. They'll decide, oh, well, I have something going on in Ireland. Let's toss a coin and see, like, where the hell we have to go. And, like, who of us should go instead of both of us going, because that's just a waste of time. So both of them, at one point in time, are performing miracles or temptations, even though they're technically not supposed to because, they're on opposite sides. Whatever. They're helping each other out. So there comes a point where Crowley asks Aziraphale for holy water as quote-unquote insurance. We never get, like, the gist of what this is, but it's almost implied that, like, he's going to use it to destroy himself if things get fucked up. So Aziraphale's like, no, I'm not giving you a suicide pill. Fuck that shit. And then they end up fighting with each other and they leave and they break up. And then they meet up again in during World War II, during the Blitz. Bomb falls on the church. Crowley saves the books. Aziraphale falls in love. The end. Skip ahead to the 60s. They're vibing it out. Crowley's about to have a heist. And then, wham a bam, Aziraphale shows up and says, I know you're about to have a heist in a church to get holy water. Here's the holy water. And Crowley goes, I can drive you somewhere. Please, let me drive you somewhere in as a repayment. And Aziraphale goes, no, you go too fast for me, Crowley. I'm sorry. Goodbye. And then leaves. So then, they're never clear about when they meet up again, but it's probably sometime in between then. But anyways, early 2000s roll around. The pair of them are, fucking around, doing whatever the fucking angel and a demon does. Antichrist is born. Antichrist comes along. The Dukes of Hell are like, here you go, Crowley. Deliver the Antichrist. It's your job. Because everyone downstairs loves you. And Crowley goes, I don't know how to take care of a baby, but okay, I'll do it. And so, delivers the Antichrist to a bunch of nuns. Satanic nuns. But the thing is, the satanic nuns aren't that great at their jobs, and so end up doing like a baby mix-up. Well, technically it's kind of Crowley's fault, but like they do a baby mix-up, so the Antichrist goes with the wrong people, and those people's actual biological child goes to the American diplomats who the Antichrist was supposed to go to. The third child, it's very ambiguous about what happened to him, but since it's the show, it's ambiguous. In the books, he's a completely different character, but they just nixed him out from the show. Anyways, so Aziraphale and Crowley come up with a plan to try to stop Armageddon from happening by sort of influencing the Antichrist themselves. So they go through the years of, being the nanny, the gardener, the tutor, the teacher, whatever, to influence young Warlock, who is the Antichrist, quote unquote. Birthday party comes up. A Warlock's turning 11. Everybody hates Aziraphale's magic act. Turns out he's not the Antichrist, and they failed, and they're fucked. So then they decide to go and find the actual Antichrist, who turns out to be this boy called Adam, who has like this group of friends called the Them. And Crowley and Aziraphale go to this the nunnery again, but it's now it's like this kind of like a paintball arena kind of place, and it's supposed to be for like, they say it's for like job training. So Crowley turns everyone's paintballs into guns, and they're shooting each other, but actually not dying. And then Aziraphale goes, "Oh, Crowley, you're such a nice person." Crowley wall slams him, and it's very intimate. Like, whoa, hold on there, partner. And then one of the nuns who was there when Crowley delivered the baby, she's the one who actually delivered the Antichrist to the wrong people. She's still there. She's working there. And she's like, "Oh my God, it's Crowley." And then Crowley is like, "We're not dealing with this. Tell me where the Antichrist went." And she said, "The records are gone. He went with the American diplomat." And then they leave. And they're driving through the woods in the dark. They hit a woman with their bike. Oh, wait, she's on the bike. They hit the woman with the Bentley. And they're like, "Oh my gosh." Aziraphale's like, "Oh my gosh, Crowley, you just hit someone." And Crowley goes, "No, they hit me." And then, so Aziraphale heals her broken bones, and this is Anathema. So they drive Anathema back to her cottage. She leaves her book of prophecies, one of the rarest book of prophecies in the world that is actually accurate. It's completely accurate. It's the nice and accurate prophecies of Agnes Nutter. So they drop her off. The book gets left behind. They go out to eat at a little diner. They go back home. Aziraphale finds the book, and Crowley's like, "Hey, if you find any information, tell me. I'll tell you." And then Aziraphale's like, "Yeah, I will, definitely." And then, he doesn't. He doesn't tell Crowley anything. He reads through this book of prophecy, and, he comes up with, "Oh, my goodness. This is the book I've been looking for." And then he reads, like, a prophecy that's, like, accurate to what he's doing right now. And he's like, "Wow." And then, so he finishes reading the book. He calls a certain number, that's supposed to be where the Antichrist is. And it's Adam's house, and Adam's father picks up, and he goes, and Aziraphale goes, sorry, right number, and then hangs up. So he's freaking out. He finds the Antichrist. He's like, I have to tell Crowley. Actually, I'm not going to tell Crowley. He goes to Heaven about it. He goes, I think there's been a mix-up, guys. And Heaven's like, what are you talking about? There's no mix-up. The Antichrist is right there, pointing to Warlock. And then Aziraphale's like, right, yes, okay, sure. But what if he's actually not the Antichrist? And they go, no, it's all good. Hell's got it covered. And Aziraphale goes, right. So then he runs back down to Earth. And then he and Crowley meet up at the bandstand, and Crowley and him are like, we have to figure this out. This is happening now. The Hellhound's here. We're fucked. I missed that part. So basically the Hellhound went to Adam, and Crowley felt it and was like, Armageddon is here. Anyways, so they're at the bandstand, and
Crowley's.
Let's run away together, please. Please, let's run away together, please. And Aziraphale's like, no, you're ridiculous. We have to try to save everything here, guy. Like, Crowley, we have to save it. We have to save the Earth. We have to save the humans. Let's do it. And then he's like, actually, I don't like you. Goodbye. And then they break up again. So Aziraphale's going back to the bookshop to try to contact the Metatron. Or actually, he's going back to contact God, but like, anyways. So Crowley pulls up again and is like, I'm sorry, please forgive me, let's run away together again, please. And then Aziraphale says, no, we can't do that, Crowley. We can't run away together, I'm sorry, but we can't. You go too fast for me, Crowley. And then Crowley's like, oh my god, you're so fucking stupid. And then Aziraphale's like, I forgive you. And Crowley goes, when I'm away in the stars, I won't forgive you ever again. And then drives away. Dramatic. And then Aziraphale goes to his bookshop, tries to talk to God, summons the Metatron. Metatron's like, get ready for war, bitch. And then Aziraphale's like, no thank you. And then, so then Aziraphale goes and doesn't turn the summoning circle off. And Sergeant Shadwell, who, I'm not talking about him. He comes in and he's like, you're a demon. Die. Points his finger at him, pushes Aziraphale into the circle, and Aziraphale discorporates. Pops up in heaven. Sergeant Shadwell's freaked out by this. One of the candles gets knocked over that Aziraphale used for the summoning circle, and the bookshop is set ablaze. Crowley pulls up and is like, sees that the bookshop's on fire, runs in, screams, Aziraphale, where are you, Aziraphale? Aziraphale. And then he thinks Aziraphale's dead, so he goes to the pub, gets pissed drunk, and cries. And then Aziraphale shows up as like a ghost because he managed to get back to heaven, get back to Earth from heaven, and is like, I have to possess someone. Finds a willing body to possess, gets on the scooter, leaves. Crowley drives to Tadfield with the book, has to get through the M25, which he accidentally turned into a ring of fire, like a blazing ring of fire, and it's like, oh god, why the fuck did I do this? So Haster shows up, tries to take Crowley back to hell, get him into trouble, and Crowley goes, let's drive through this ring of fire, babe. Drives through the ring of fire, Haster discorporates. Because Crowley has imagination, he's like, my car is not on fire, we are fine. Let's do this, girl. Drives to Tadfield in the blazing car. Gets to Tadfield Air Base. The guard at the door is like, you guys can't get in here, go away or I'll shoot you. Bentley blows up. Aziraphale is like, I can't do this. I can't do anything with this man, Crowley. You got to deal with it. Crowley's over here crying because his Bentley just exploded. And then Aziraphale's like, okay, I'll make him disappear. And then Aziraphale makes him disappear. So then they all run. They get into a jeep. Then they drive into Tadfield Air Base. It's and then Aziraphale and Crowley are just kind of standing there for the most part while them are defeating the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and then they stopped Armageddon, yay! And then Beelzebub and Gabriel come and show up, and they're like, "You need to start Armageddon now, Adam." And Adam says, "No, I'm good." And then they're like, "You have to start it now, Adam." And then Aziraphale and Crowley are like, "Actually, no, he doesn't. He. And then they're like, "Okay, well, we're going to go tell Big Daddy Satan goodbye." And then Big Daddy Satan starts coming up, and Crowley's like, "Oh my God, we're fucked." And Aziraphale's like, "Come up with something, or else I'll never talk to you again." So Aziraphale and Crowley end up, Crowley ends up stopping time, and Aziraphale and Crowley have like a heart-to-heart with Adam, and are like, "You can control reality right now. Stop your father." And Adam's like, "My father? But he wouldn't hurt anyone." And then they're like, "No, not your earthly father, Satan." And he's like, "But I'm just a kid." And then they're like, "You're human incarnate. Let's go. We're by your side." They hold his hands. Very cute fatherly moment. Then they come back to reality. Adam shouts at Satan a little bit. Satan disappears. Aziraphale and Crowley are just standing there like, this is so good for us. They throw the book back. They try to describe everything, like explain everything that happened to all the humans and everything. They never get past that. They give the book back to Anathema. They have a single prophecy that says, "You have to choose your faces wisely, or else you're gonna die, guys." And so Aziraphale and Crowley end up leaving. They get on the bus, and they're like, "What does this prophecy mean?" I know what this prophecy means. They swap bodies. Hell and heaven kidnap them in broad daylight while they're in their respective, Crowley is Aziraphale and Aziraphale is Crowley. So, hell puts, Aziraphale as Crowley into a bathtub of holy water. Doesn't die. Heaven puts Crowley as Aziraphale into a tornado of hellfire. He doesn't die. Oh my God, what are they? They're ineffable. Anyways, so they get sent back to Earth, and they go, and they're laughing at each other. They're laughing with each other, and they're like, "I told Michael," and Aziraphale's like, "I told Michael to miracle me a towel, and I asked him for a rubber duck. That's so funny." And then Crowley's just like, "Your boss told me to shut up and die," but doesn't tell Aziraphale that. We love communication, guys. So then they're like, "Let's go have lunch." Well, they've swapped bodies by this, but they're like, "Let's go have lunch at the Ritz." They go to the Ritz. The piano's playing. A nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. And the funny thing is, the Good Omens that we made along the way, the nightingale was singing in Berkeley Square.